Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is Sam from the Soul of Stella with another pick a card reading here for you today. And this one I'm going to keep short and sweet. Famous last words. But this one is all about why did they really act that way? Okay, so if you've had some kind of ending with someone, or you've had some kind of disagreement with someone and you're just in that phase of thinking, why would they say that? Why would they do that? This doesn't make any sense. And you're trying to see things from their side, but also perhaps to get a bit of closure, perhaps to take the blame so much off yourself if you're someone who really internalizes blame and shame. This one is for you, okay? So please think about a specific person, and you might want to do this for different people, okay? You might pick different piles for different people, but we're going to dive into why did they really act that way? What is next in this connection, if at all, okay? And then the advice for you so that you can heal, so that you can move on, and so you can have your growth from this, okay? So, interesting one. Let's get into it. This is pile number 1, this is pile number 2, and this is pile number 3. Take a moment to tune into your intuition. When you have decided on your pile, the link to the timestamps is below in the description box, and I will see you in the reading. Okay, pile number 1. Why did they really act that way towards you or in that situation? Why did they really act that way? I've already got some cards here, so we're going to put them all on the table. My nose is itchy, so your spirit guides are here. I feel like there's a lot that needs to be said here. And you're perhaps being very protected from this situation, okay? We're going to dive into why, what's next, and some advice for you, okay? Now, please only take this as it resonates. Of course, this is quite a specific and deep reading, so yeah, it's obviously going to apply to those, and certain parts will and certain parts won't. It could be happening now, or it could be happening into the future, and we can't control how other people act or react. So yeah, please know that time is fluid and people have free will. So we've got the Alchemist, the Queen, and the Knight. Okay. I feel like someone acted... you've also got Aries, the Radical, the Axe, the Clock, and the Grim Reaper. I feel like someone was putting everything on the line here. The person that you're thinking about really, really wanted to transform something. Okay, with the Aries and the Radical here and the Alchemist, this is talking about someone who is making bold moves to transform something that is at its base level, possibly like nothing, or possibly something that looks like coal, right? And turning it into a diamond. And someone really wanted to do that. And I think this person comes across as feminine and highly, highly romantic. Someone with almost rose-colored glasses here, but we don't want to paint this in a negative light just yet, but I feel like someone was truly trying to not save the day, but really transform something because they wanted love so badly. They wanted romance and chivalry and loyalty so badly that they tapped into so much feminine energy. They were trying their hardest. They really were. They were trying their hardest. And I think there's been some kind of separation here. There's been some kind of silent treatment or abandonment. And this is going to take some time to heal. But what has transpired here between the two of you, I feel it didn't quite hit the mark of this alchemizing. It had an attempt to be transformed, but because this person perhaps was a little bit unrealistic about love, okay? And this could be something to do with love just wasn't enough, or they had a very specific view on love, and they were trying to control the situation with this Radical Aries energy. Aries is ruled by Mars, and it's the god of war. They were very much assertive, very much, I'd say, bossy even, and they wanted to receive. They wanted to it's interesting because the Queen is very feminine, and yet the Aries energy here that's coming across is very masculine, okay? And so I feel this person wanted to have their cake and eat it too. And they really truly believed that that was the best way forward, that that was the way for them and for both of you to transform something here, that they had this wisdom, okay? And they really may have. But I think that it's come to light that what was very fiery and passionate and perhaps had all the attributes of romance at some point, okay? I have a feeling that at some point something was really peachy and passionate and exhilarating. But then something has happened where something was... with this axe energy, it was like something was cut off, like their supply was cut off. And there may have been a separation period, and then this person came back through with a radical new energy to try and salvage this and try and transform this. But in fact, you both kind of know that this is the end. Like, there's no second chances now. Well, there's no third chances. I feel like there was a pause, and then there was a second chance given for something to alchemize. And I think this person wanted to take things to the next level, and almost in a controlling sense, almost in a way where they were like, my clock is ticking, you know, if they're a feminine energy and they're wanting to procreate, that may have played into this equation here. But there's a sense of love just isn't enough sometimes, okay? It also needed to have some grounding, and it also needed to... there's something that became a little bit competitive, and I think that this person was very much in a receiving energy and then snapped into more of a masculine energy, and so it was very confusing for you. I can understand why you would be coming to a reading like this and going, okay, well, why did this happen? Like, and I feel like you possibly came through with a lot of masculine energy and was very supportive of this Queen. And perhaps something happened in your life where you just got tired of perhaps not having like an equilibrium here, or perhaps not having a mutual... I feel like you also needed as well, you also needed to receive. At some point in time, like, it was all beautiful that you could give and give and give, but like I feel like you weren't actually getting much back here. And so then when this person tried to pull out all the stops with stepping into their masculine energy, I feel like they just they came across in doing it as a competitive way. Okay, so they may have said things like, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to transform this. I'm going to give you more than you ever gave me. You'll see, I'm going to fix, this is going to be, I'm going to, you know, it's like that kind of, and almost like they may have come across too hot too soon after that fact, where you just were like, well, I actually feel so unnerved by this. I feel so confused by your behavior. Like, I'm also getting the feeling that you're not sure about someone's true colors. Or that you feel like you've seen someone's true colors and you're like, that's actually too much drama for me. Like, I'm just feeling like you wanted consistency. And although you may have really like been sold the dream of something transforming into something much more wise and high level, I really do feel like you were just like, I'm done here. Like, my clock is ticking and my clock says I haven't got the patience for this, but also I haven't got the time for this. I feel like you're a very busy person, and you know, you weren't asking for too much to begin with, and this person's just come back in and wanted to save the day in a way that just feels ick. It feels impulsive, it feels argumentative, it feels rash, you know, and I think it's just not it for you. It's just not it for you. Let's actually see what this person would say to you. I want to know what they would say to you. It's time for me to heal now. I don't react when people mention you. I feel like they're in a bit of denial about this separation, or about what you maybe even are saying. I feel you leaving me behind. Yeah, there's a sense of competition here. I'm becoming a better person. But they're trying their best. They really are. And they're probably realizing that it is the end of this situation, and that they can do better next time around with someone else. If they're really, really honest with themselves, it's... Although they wanted to save this situation, I think they also know that their behavior just wasn't... It wasn't in alignment with who they really are. And I feel like they bit off more than they could chew at the end of the day. If you understand the phrasing there, I think they bit off more than they could chew. I want to go, what would they say from this deck as well? Just one or two cards. I'll take that one. The little things you do are the cutest. Okay, so they really did appreciate you when they had everything from you, and I'm obsessed with you, but I'm holding it all back. Yeah, a real sense of like, I'm getting like devil energy from the radical Aries, and that's unusual, but I'm also getting it from the Grim Reaper here. There's something very fiery, and although the devil energy is ruled by Capricorn, it just feels very fiery, like the depths of hell. You know, I think that this person really, really tried to hold on, and that's why they kind of switched. They wanted to change up their personality in a way. It's like they've never been called out like this before, to be honest. Like, you really, I feel you really came through as someone saying, look, I need a little bit more from you. And they took complete offense to it. And wanted to, like, I'll show them, but that's not how you treat someone that you're in love with. That's not how you treat someone that you're in a relationship with. And I think their obsession with you came across as like desperate towards the end here, and you actually felt ick. Okay, you actually felt like, damn it, this is ruined, you know. But you tried your best and you put in like the best foot forward. But I think it's time to move on now. Okay, I think it's time for you to both heal from this, and you can both be better people moving forward. I want to know what is next for this relationship. I think we covered it, but is there anything else we need to know here, Spirit? What is next in this connection? What is next in this connection? Take inspired action and detoxify. Yeah, I do feel like with both of these being full moons, full moon in Taurus and full moon in Virgo, and they're both earth signs here, and they're both full moons, I'm really feeling the need to expel. Okay, so expel this person and their memory and their belongings and their energy out of your life. I really feel a sense of like you need to shake it off, or like it's almost like it's gotten under your skin a little bit and you need to like really like flick it off your skin. You might want to go and have like a salt detox, or take like a really big Epsom, like a lot of Epsom salts to a bath, and detoxify that way. But also just maybe stay away from alcohol as a salve in general. Go out and get some nature, a lot of greenery, and like earth yourself, ground yourself, and then take inspired action towards like, okay, if I could give that much in this kind of relationship, okay, who am I looking for now, and how am I healing now, so that the relationship I move into next is actually coming with like a clean slate, and then I know how to do better. I know how to give better. I know how to react or act better. And I know how to communicate better. Okay, there's a sense of like communicating better from the get-go. Okay, about this is my expectations going into this. There's a maturity that is being asked of you here. What is the advice for pile number 1? And I want to say your spirit guides are proud of you. I want to say that they're proud of the way you handled this. And although, you know, it could have been something that could have been worked out, and that other people may have tried and tried and tried again, I think you both, if you're really honest with yourselves, understand that there's some things that like turning coal into diamonds, and my throat chakra just completely closed up there. And it might be hard to actually like hear, okay? As much as it's hard for my throat chakra to say this out, it might actually be hard for you to hear, is what I'm getting from that. As much as some people can turn coal into diamonds and pressure into diamonds, you're just not built for that. You actually want like a drama-free life, and you may have actually gone through enough of like, okay, transformation, we grow together, and you're kind of like, well, I want someone who's already leveled up. I want someone who's already healed. I don't want to have to fix people. You know, I have a lot of love to give. I really feel that you do, and that you come across as someone who can be a provider in some sense, whether you're masculine or feminine. We have that in all of us, and I think that you really wanted to provide for someone in some way, shape, or form, and you want someone who is open to receiving, but also open to giving some of that back as well. So what is the advice here for pile number 1? I just heard, baby, it's cold outside. So winter may be significant, and Christmas especially may be significant for like your next relationship perhaps. Or if you're feeling like you're left out in the cold in this situation, I feel like it won't be for long. Okay, remember that you don't need material wealth to achieve inner peace, to embrace pure joy, or to experience true love. Yeah, so there is a sense with these cards here being both earth signs that came out before, I feel you may be throwing yourself into work, and you just remember to have some balance there. And the Aries can be the boss energy, okay? It can be the emperor energy, someone who's very entrepreneurial and focused on work, and active and self-starting. But if you take that too far, you can become quite closed off to love. So remember that you are allowed to experience true love and joy and inner peace. Value your own life too much to resent others who have more than you, or to judge those who have less. Okay, so if you feel like you gave more than this person, and they're perhaps walking away with more than you got out of this, then it's calling you to not hold on to that resentment, and to actually not even judge those who have less either, but just value what you do have. And I think what you do have out of this is a very important lesson. Don't rush through your life. There will be time enough to learn all you need to know to go as far as you're meant to go. Just as I said, lessons too. Okay, so remember to focus on love and value and the lessons from this pile number 1, and move forward with grace. I think you will do that anyway, but with some grounding and detoxifying happening in the process. And you might want to use the next full moon for a big release, a big purge, maybe burning some memories if you've got some journal prompts about release that you want to dive into, and then pop all that into a saucepan or a pot or something and burn it outdoors, obviously. But there's a big sense of release happening here, so maybe clean up your space around you as well. Do all those kinds of things, but definitely ground yourself with water and earth. Okay, I send you so much love, pile number 1. Thank you so much for being here. Please let me know in the comments below how this resonated. I hope this gave you some kind of closure or insight into this situation, and I will see you in the next one. Pile number 2, this is your reading, and this is all about why did they really act that way. So we're diving into why, what's next in this connection, and advice for you. Okay, we have mother energy, mediator energy, the sun, Scorpio, stabbed in the back, love call, healing heart, and self-indulgence. Interesting. Mother energy. The mother card is talking about someone being unconditionally loving and nurturing. And then the mediator is talking about someone who comes in with strategy and respects both sides of an argument. Okay, so it does feel, it's giving me like Empress energy. It does feel like someone who was giving tough love. And you may have been dealing with a Leo or a Scorpio here, because we've got sun and being. Okay, this is the essence of self-awareness. And then we have Scorpio and the animal. Okay, so someone who is very intense and passionate, but can also be secretive, and can be destructive or manipulative if they take things too far with how intense they can be. Okay, but there's like they enjoy being quite dark, which is quite an interesting contradiction. Okay, so you've got this Leo energy of the sun, and then you've got this Scorpio energy of the darkness. Okay. I feel like you've cracked this person open. What is the situation here? We've also got stabbed in the back, love call, healing heart, and self-indulgence. This could be a mother figure, whether it is your partner who is a mother, or it could be a father as well. I'm going to put that out there with the sun energy next to it. It really could be. And also the mediator energy kind of gives me more masculine energy. So it could be a parent who is your like a partner, like you, a co-parent. Let's put it that way. Or it could actually be a parent to you. Strongly getting that. And someone who, look, I think they really wanted to live their own life, and they were really having a moment of, I don't want to say like midlife crisis, but they were really coming to terms with who they were as they were evolving through their own life. There's a sense with this being energy where this person was really trying to honor their own being and almost like shining a light on what was important to them, and making it a distinction between head and heart. I feel making a distinction between how much they gave to other people. Like the sun is very energetic and it gives to all. Okay, it feeds all. But I think that they also maybe gave too much of themselves with this mother and son being right next to each other. And it's interesting that I said mother and son. You could take that as another way. But it's almost like they gave too much of themselves. And this could be like a postpartum kind of situation here. It's almost like they gave too much of themselves and actually felt depleted when at the time of their life, they actually needed to invest in themselves, and they actually really wanted to express themselves fully and not just be this one role. Okay. And I think they really tried to mediate within themselves, even the darkness and the light. They really tried to come to terms with, why am I acting this way? But I've got to be a good person and provide nurturing and care. Okay. But I do feel that they saw your side of the story. So if you were on the receiving end of this care, or if you were a partner in this situation and this person suddenly did something that caused, I feel like the stabbed in the back part here is actually this person and this person's behavior towards you. Okay. I feel that this person may have indulged in interesting message. I've just got to say it. This could be very specific for someone, but I feel like there's a double kind of message here. Either you or this person, at the time when they most needed safety, security, and also a sense of fun, if you can have all of those things, you really can. And I think they wanted to feel all parts of themselves. However, someone, either you or them, indulged in something that was lower level, low vibration, and possibly indulged in something with someone from the past, or a temptation from the past, or a temptation just in general. Okay. So whether that was actually they were speaking to someone else because they were, expressing how they were feeling and getting it all out. And it might have been very, very innocent to begin with. But I then feel like you or them finding out about it, whoever was the one talking to someone else, really felt like a deception. It really felt like out of the blue shock, like this deep destructive feeling, this deep like animalistic feeling of, and I feel that someone wanted to run, and someone felt like the other person was a snake in the grass. So someone's a snake in the grass and the other person's wanting to run as far as they can away from them, okay? And I think this person really was the person who was tempted here. And they were tempted because they were coming to terms with a new version of themselves that was actually quite frightening for them. It was equal parts exhilarating and equal parts frightening. Okay, they were really tapping into some primal, probably even hormonal energy here. And they were being selfish. Yes, they understand that. But they felt like they deserved that. And they didn't mean, I do feel like with this mediator energy, they actually didn't mean for it to turn out that way. That they thought that something being them, like them being self-aware and them expressing themselves and them tending to their own needs, possibly by just having an outlet of someone to speak to, this doesn't mean that this person actually cheated or, did something. Sorry about that. There you go. Interesting that my phone started ringing just as this love call came through. It's like at the worst possible time, right? At the worst possible time, this deception took place. Like at a time where this person was being almost praised for their nurturing abilities, okay, for their tough love abilities, someone who was like a natural mother, someone who gave love but also was an expert at delivering discipline in a way that felt safe for the child, okay, in this situation. And it was like, why now? Like, you've just done a switch. That's what it feels like. It's like something's just been completely cracked open here. But I think it started deep within this person. Is like their soul was cracked open and they were coming to terms with really who they were. And they could see things from both sides. And I think they still can. And I think whatever has transpired in this relationship, both of you have a healing heart from this. Both of you have got mending that needs to be done. And I do get the sense that both of you want to mend each other's heart, okay? With this healing heart, I do get the sense that it's equal and it's mutual and there's a possibility for this to actually heal, because this mediator energy means you're dealing with someone who is going to be frank about their feelings and is going to be forthright in hearing your side of the story, or and like accepting, not just hearing, but like accepting and wanting to understand. They really do want to understand. So I get the sense that they may even be trying to reach out to you to heal the heart here, but there's still a sense of self-worth at play, okay? There's still a sense that even you have now been shaken to the core, and even you now, it's like had a knock-on effect where one has been cracked open and has delved into their darker side and tried to understand it and express it in a way that was healthy, and it kind of came out unhealthy, or it looked like it came out unhealthy. Okay, I must just say that as well, that your reaction was visceral. It was very real. It was very shock. Okay, you felt attacked. But I do feel like it's had a knock-on effect, and now you are kind of looking at your shadow side as well, and you're looking at, well, where can I express myself differently? And if I'm going to heal this with this person, well, I first of all need to focus on myself a little bit to build myself back up, to even have the conversation, okay? To even take the call, because at the moment the call kind of feels like it's interrupting your healing. Interesting message. I feel like we need to know what this person would say because they're trying to get through to you. What would this person say to pile number 2, please, Spirit? I want to be more than friends. They want to get back to the glory days, I just heard. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. This is definitely causing them some anxiety. And that's when you know you're dealing with someone who understands the role that they played in the mistake here and the effect that it actually had on you. Whether it was their intention or not, they do understand, and it really gets to them. I'm starting to understand our connection, okay? And you speak to me through music. You may have had special songs with this person. And that may trigger them to actually make the love calls that they're making, send the messages that they're sending, or reach out. They actually feel quite a deep sense of shame and guilt, and they really, really do want to rectify this. With the sun energy being here, I do really feel like this person has a big heart, okay? And they mean well. They mean well. It's just come across in a way that isn't particularly healthy. I'm learning so much from you. You're bad for me, but I'm hooked, okay? Interesting, you're bad for me, but I'm hooked. I feel like there's another message here. I think I'm far superior to you. You will never matter more to me than I do. I actually feel like this is that self-indulgence energy where you and this person, I definitely get a sense of like mirroring here, or at least that this person had their moment of feeling this way, of feeling hard done by, and then because of their actions, you now have that feeling. It's a domino effect. They've actually created that themselves. And I feel like they were like, well, I want more out of this, or I do all this and what do I get? Or I'm just the mother, or I'm just the parent, and I want to be seen and heard and felt, and I want to feel sexy and alive, and I want to express myself. And that could be by them spending money, okay? Because this can talk about resourcefulness. It could be them having a new obsession, like possibly like chatting on a particular group or gaming or something like that, or even like going out and having fun when they should be doing this role. They were very torn, okay? But I think that you're both going through certain things like this, and if you're relating as the other parent, then you might now be doing the same things, and you're actually like, I'm not ready. This is actually bad timing because I want to focus on myself. There's a deep sense of I just want myself worth to come back. I want my self-appreciation. I want to know who I am after this. Both of you have felt like that, okay? Where is this connection headed, please, Spirit? Can you tell us a bit more about where this connection is headed? Like I said, it is something that it feels like it can be worked on, but that is completely up to you. Relax, new moon in Cancer. Okay, take a deep breath, pile number 2. Take a deep breath. I know it stings. I know it stings. First quarter moon in Leo, be humble. Okay, there's the sun energy, and it's saying, look, we're all human here, and this person is really trying to understand from your point of view, and if you can understand from their point of view, then something really might be like back in the sun, back in the fun, okay? Breathe through the tension, full moon in Scorpio, okay? And that's that Scorpio again, and this is really talking about softening the Scorpio, softening the animal, softening the passion and the secrecy, and it feels like dissolving, okay? Because this looks very much like an oasis, okay? But there's a sense of releasing the shadow self, and both of you are doing that, and I think it's healthy. I think it is needed and it's healthy. And Spirit is really saying, look, you take your time and you do what you need to do, but this person is there, and don't forget that if you want to heal this, you absolutely can. And this person is, if you're going to heal it with anyone, you can heal it with this person because they're willing to hear you out and they're willing to put in the work. It may even require therapy with that mediator card here. One more advice, thank you. Appreciate that everyone has a reason for doing what they do. Oh my goodness. For feeling how they feel and for being where they are. Know this of others and remember it of yourself so that you don't carry any shame and guilt, but also no resentment as well, okay? Stay deeply in touch with your spirit. Listen to what it needs to feel nurtured, strong, and whole. Both, it's all of that. Wow. I'm going to hold these up in case you want to take a screenshot of those messages. But that is really beautiful. I hope that this can heal for you if that's what you want. If not, there's a really strong lesson here for you. And I do get a sense that this is all divinely guided, okay? Everything happens for a reason kind of energy here. And you're still being asked to appreciate what was and tap into the lesson. But relax if you want to make this work, and be humble. Know that there's a real remembering that we're all human here. Breathe through the tension, okay? So there's this very soft energy coming across this as a healing vibe for you, pile number 2. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for being here. Please let me know in the comments below how it resonated. If you feel you need to share this with someone else, please do. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. Pile number 3. This is your reading all about why did they really act that way? Why did they really act that way? Like, Spirit, come through. Tell us what's been happening with this person. Why did they really act that way? Okay, we want to get some closure or some insight so that we can find some healing in this situation, so we can better understand the person, understand ourselves, understand our next actions. Okay, so we have the gambler, someone who is willing to follow intuition even when others doubt it. It feels like a risk taker to others, but I really feel like they are trusting themselves in some way. You've got the Numinous, which is the mystery, okay, the unknowable. The 7th house of relating, so it does feel like either a partnership in a love relationship, possibly a marriage, or a best friend, someone you have spent some quality time with, okay? And then we have the hero or heroine, and this is a passion for a journey of personal empowerment, someone who also kind of wants to save the day. We also have abundance, healthy choices, the snake, which is talking about like not trusting someone or looking over your shoulder, some malicious kind of energy, and then twin flames. Oh my gosh. Okay. Gosh, what is happening here? Okay. The gambler, the mystery, the 7th house, the hero and heroine. Oh, my heart. Ooh, pile number 3. Okay, you could be dealing with someone who you may have met as like they were separated from someone, but they hadn't yet gone through the messy part of a divorce. That's quite specific, but I really feel like someone here, there's a sense of being ghosted, okay? There's a sense of just someone wanting to take a risk. This person wanted to take a risk towards you. They have very strong feelings towards you. They feel a very mysterious call towards you. You may have known this person like in your past as a friend or an acquaintance. You may have worked with them, may have been a family friend, that kind of thing. May, for some, have dated this person in some way, shape or form. However, I think that never eventuated into anything, but they've been thinking about you ever since. Or it could have been someone from a past life, and they've just got this strong call towards you. Now that they've met you, now that they know you as a grown-up, I just heard, okay, so interesting language from this person's kind of perspective. But I think they really took a risk of like, I'm just going to go for it. But I think what happened here is this person then had to deal with focusing on healthier choices and abundance for themselves, whilst dealing with someone who was a snake in the grass. Okay, so as much as they wanted to come through and have this full energy of like leaping off the edge of the cliff towards you, they wanted to think they had very little baggage, and they may have felt at the time that that was the right thing to do. They may have been dreaming about you, thinking about you a lot, and just trying to understand why they were called and pulled to you. But and they wanted to come in and save the day for you. They realized that they had invested in the wrong person, and they wanted to invest in you. They wanted to spend time, money, energy, love on you. But I do feel like this snake in the grass, this person that they had to keep looking over their shoulder at, and possibly the person that they're divorcing, and I have a very intense frontal headache coming up here. Very intense. This person has been really trying to get you out of their head. Like, oh my gosh, it is pounding. I'm open to the healing power of spirit working in my life, okay? This is what this person has had to come to terms with, and you might want to use that as well. If you're mirroring, and twin flames often have a yin-yang, but also a very duality, a very mirrored effect to them, where when one person feels something, the other person like sympathy feels it. Or if one person thinks about someone in the 5D, this person picks up on it. Whether they're intuitive and spiritual and psychic and empathic and connected or not, you are actually so connected to each other that this is almost like a portal. This relationship is a portal for the two of you to enhance those features, okay? To enhance your empathy, compassion, psychic abilities, spiritual abilities, telepathy, that kind of thing, astral travel, okay? Meeting each other in the 5D. Meeting each other in the dream space, and actually you may have been dreaming out the same kind of scenarios like eventuating, and that is a sign that perhaps this could eventuate, but this person really had to save themselves first. There's a strong sense of they had to keep a positive mindset to get what they deserved in this breakup, in this divorce, in this exchange. There's a sense of balance coming through with the 7th house here, okay? And it can talk about, 7th house can talk about contracts as well, okay? It talks about assessment and reflection and control. And there was something that was beginning to become completely out of this person's control, and they had to control what they could control. You know, otherwise I feel like there's a sense that they could have lost everything, and especially they could have lost their mind dealing with this snake. I feel like they've been up against someone with a lot of venom. They've been up against someone, and it feels like the other woman, okay? And this card specifically says the other woman. A lot of competition, a lot of backlash, a lot of unfair, unjust situations, and this person has sensed a mystery in you, and the call to you and the pull towards you, and the timing of this. They were like, what? Why now? Like I'm not even looking for someone, and yet this person, pile number 3, I've dreamt about pile number 3, and then we have a conversation, and then we meet up, and then I'm head over heels in love with this person. Like I want to be this person's person. I want to be pile 3's person. However, I really think they're dealing with something that is outside of you, that is outside of them, and they've had to tap into making healthier choices for themselves so that they can come back to you. I do get the sense that they still feel this pull. They still feel this risk-taking energy. And in fact, they had to pull themselves back from taking the leap of faith towards you completely so that it wouldn't disrupt this process down here. So it wouldn't disrupt this energy of saving what they had. And they may have children with another person, and they may have had to like really focus on, they may have even had a business with this other person, and that they may have had to really focus on keeping some of what was in their basket so that this other person doesn't, it's like this snake wanted to steal the eggs out of this person's chicken coop. Does that make sense? Like this snake was like really trying to get inside this person's home, heart, mind, possessions, and wanting to take more than their fair share. And this person knew, in order to make the healthiest choice for this connection and for what the assets that they already have, they had to put this on a pause. Okay, and they're still confused because I don't think they've fully realized that they have a twin flame connection with you. But I think they're coming to terms with it the more mystery clears up, the more the clouds part, okay? So the more they get through this separation, the more they get through this difficult time, this divorce, this fight, this argument, this contract or release, okay? I think the clouds are parting for this person, and they're starting to see like the crystals forming and the mystery coming to light, and there's an inner knowing coming now. They're like, oh, okay, there's a comprehension starting to arise here, and they do understand that they now, with the abundance that they have maintained or been able to hold on to, the abundance that they have secured, they now need to make healthier choices for themselves. This may have really taken its toll on this person, and they might not be completely in this hero-heroine energy just yet. They need to keep focusing on making these healthy choices. So I get the sense that this has been a mystery to you, because you also wanted to take a leap of faith towards this person, and you wanted to equal give and take hero-heroine with this person. You wanted a relationship with this person, but there's something that has kept you apart, and that is so indicative of the twin flame journey, where you meet someone or you re-meet someone, the connection is fire, and you both want to act impulsively. There's a sense of deja vu that comes with some of them as well, and then there's a separation period. There's a period of growth for either party, but you look at each other still and question, well, why do I still feel this way towards this person when I know they have to deal with this stuff, so I should just like get on with my life, you know? And so I always have to have a disclaimer when I talk about twin flame energy, because I didn't want to talk about it so much, but it always seems to come up. So I do have to acknowledge and address it, but I also have to give you the disclaimer that you don't have to, it doesn't have to be suffering, okay? And if it feels like abuse of any kind, this is not your reading, okay? If it feels like being taken advantage of, this is not your reading. This is really your person coming through your reading to explain why did they really act that way. They're explaining that I had to save myself and what I had so that I can come through to you better, stronger, and without this energy mucking up your energy. Okay, and they wanted to save you the pain of having to hear them talk about this and deal with it, and the messiness, and drag you through the mud of like what was actually essentially between this person and their other person. Okay, they wanted to save you the hassle and save you the struggle. What would this person say to pile number 3? What would this person say? I'm just going to take those 2, and I'm also going to take some from this one. What would this person say to pile number 3? That's too many, I'll take that. I play off your suspicions like they're nothing. Yeah, they're in a very non-committal energy, okay? They know that you're questioning this. They know that you are. And you may have reached out to this person and kept some kind of like friendship here. And you may have directly asked this person questions, and they're really not being direct with you. They're not answering your question. They know that you're trying to reduce the smoke and mirrors. But they're trying to just palm you off and keep you at an arm's length right now. So if you feel like they're playing off your suspicions like they're nothing, this is why. They're really trying to protect you. You'll love the new me. I've done all this with you as my goal. My heart. Oh, goodness me. My heart is literally like pounding. That is so interesting that the headache has actually gone, but my heart started to just like whooping, like whoop. Oh my God. Sorry. That's really loud. I know my table makes so much noise. I dreamt about you and you appeared. What the frick? God, I love this stuff. I love it. I love it. I dreamt about you and appeared. Yeah. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. This person absolutely does. I have chills, pile number 3. I have actual chills. And I'm smiling. Like, I really feel like this has been so difficult for you on the receiving end of like, bam, I love you, but like I can't be with you, so bye. And like, they may have really sold you a dream life, and you're like, finally. Like, I had a crush on you for years, and I just never knew it was going to be something, and then you got married, and then this happened, and blah, blah, blah. And actually, like, this person's really, they've got a big, big heart, and they're really trying to protect you, but they want to show up as this hero and heroine energy so much. They want to show up as the best possible version of themselves. I want you. Wow. Wow. And they're really, I think they're going to come through. What is the next phase of this connection What's next for this connection, please, Spirit? As much as you didn't understand, they didn't understand, but it's all coming to light. It really is. And there's a lot of abundance that you can have together. There's healthier choices that you can make together. And I also think that anyone that tries to ruin that or take that from you, you two will face this together. There's a real sense of like two equals coming through to save each other, but to be better together. And it might shock some people. There's this gambler, risk-full kind of energy coming through. It might shock some people, but it makes complete sense to you guys, okay? Full moon in Aries, cool your emotions, okay? Especially in the face of conflict, especially in the face of potentially dealing with this snake energy or hearing about the snake energy. You might want to react quite viciously, okay? But cool your emotions. First quarter moon in Sagittarius, believe in your good luck, okay? Sagittarius is talking about Jupiter energy and expansion and travel and luck, literally luck. And the gambler plays their hand of cards with a sense of risk, knowing that their luck is about to change, knowing that their luck is due, okay? First quarter moon in Gemini, speak your world into being. And Gemini is the twins, and we're talking about twin flame energy here, okay? We're talking about mutual give and take, but we're also talking about something that is quirky and different and might not make sense to a lot of people. But if you keep believing in your good luck and you focus on cooling your emotions and understanding this as much as you possibly can, as much as the universe will allow you to understand it at this point in time, okay? This reading, I hope, is really helping with that. And what this person has to say, I hope, is really comforting you. But there's a sense of like, you will come together. You will have two, it's like two parts of one whole come back together. Whether you believe in that or not, it's just you, what you speak about, you bring about, and what you think about, you bring about. So it's really important that you use your words to focus on what is like true and real for you. And that might not be tangible right now, okay? It might not be in the 3D right now, but there's a sense of you trusting your intuition and cooling your emotions every time you think you're getting flustered and desperate. And go and live your life, of course, pile number 3. Go and live your life. But I sense that that you have a strong feeling that this is all going to be okay. And I think with this good luck showing up, what you want out of this, if you want this to come back into formation, it really will. But how you speak, how you communicate from here on out, come at it from a place of cool, calm, collected, and positive outlook, okay? And this person really needs that from you as well. I think they really appreciate that about you, that you are someone who feels balanced and stable. And that if you want this, it really can come into being, okay? And you're being asked to manifest as well. Journaling is also a way of speaking it into being. Affirmations, subliminals, all kinds of things. But I really think that as long as you're focusing on you and focusing on the good in your own world, you almost like there's something to do with twin flames where you elevate each other telepathically. So if you focus on the good, this person will quickly move into the good as well. Let's get some advice for you, pile number 3. Advice for pile number 3 in this situation. Make time for yourself to do something special or to do nothing at all. A quiet time to connect with how you honestly feel, what you actually need, and who you truly are, okay? You do not have to accept this situation as what is played out in the cards here, okay? This is literally like personal development and a heads up. And you have free will, and so does this person, to change something at any time because time is fluid. Make the choices that best provide what you need and most deeply affirm who you are. Beautiful, beautiful grounding messages of self-care, self-love, and self-assuredness that what is for me will not pass me. Okay, no matter what other situations evolve or other connections evolve in the time of, you know, waiting and patience and temperance here, it's also saying that what is for me will not miss me, and everything is happening for my best and highest good, and that you can see this situation with love. You can see it through loving eyes, okay? Because I do sense that you also felt this, and that is when you now understand that that person felt it too for you, pile 3. Then you're really going to connect with it deeply. You're really going to relate to that deeply, understand it deeply, and give them the space and time and compassion, but also positivity that they perhaps need. And just remaining their friend is going to mean so much to them as well. Okay. Thank you so much for being here, pile 3. I hope this just does help. Please let me know in the comments below if it does. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.